You've been praying to the good Lord because of your financial anxieties and worries and stresses. And you've been asking Jesus, please, dear Jesus, help me find a way to make a second income so that I can feel retired, for one thing. I mean, I didn't never think in a million years that retirement would be so stressful. It's supposed to be fun. But when the cost of living increases like it has, and the fuel prices, the taxes, and everything are going up so much, the groceries, I mean, it's rough. And I thought I had done everything right, and probably you had too. You put your savings aside, you had enough nest egg there in case of emergencies, and then now you're dipping into that because your monthly income is not increasing with the cost of living. And that's where I'm at. Well, I was at, but I'm not anymore, because when I was praying, and this is one thing I want to talk to you about, I'm an honest, prayerful person, and I'm going to talk to you straight. When we pray, we also have to make efforts to find the answers ourselves. It's not like you're going to pray and all the time that you're praying that Jesus is just going to come, in the room and say, okay, Jennifer, I know you've been praying about needing a second income, so let's just have a little chat, and here's what I want you to do. Now, that might sound a little ridiculous to you, because we all know that doesn't happen like that. But sometimes we wished it would. We wished it was easy. We wished his answers would come easily, that we would just know, okay, this is what he wants me to do. I prayed last night. I went to sleep. I wake up in the morning, and I'm going to feel it in my bones, and it's just going to be right there, and it's going to be laid out for me. Well, if it was like that, then we wouldn't have to have faith, because faith is something that you can't see, but you believe in it anyways, even though you can't see it. Just like now, we weren't fortunate enough to be back in the biblical days when we actually could physically see Jesus walking with us. So now we have to have faith that he's out there listening and all, even though we can't see him and we really can't hear him most of the time. Now, sometimes, and like I'm going to tell you here in a minute, I heard him. And that's why I'm doing this. But we don't always hear him even though he's speaking. Okay? And what I mean by that is that sometimes our answers come from other people. We might be praying, and then we run into a friend of ours, and our friend's talking, and and in that conversation we have this light bulb moment, and we go, you know what? She just said something, and that just answered a prayer I was praying about. And when that happens, it's exciting. You're like, oh, and then you tell your friend, like, oh my God, you just answered one of my prayers. And they're like, what? I didn't know that. And they're like, yeah, you did. But by just this conversation, and something you said was something that I've been praying about. Okay. So that's how he answers our prayers sometimes. And as for me, I was going to tell you, I was praying. I was praying to find a way to make a second income from the internet and online. And the reason I was doing that is because I had been retired 1.5 years, and I wanted to still feel retired. So I didn't want to go back to the 9-to-5, because I felt like if I went back to the 9-to-5, and this is on my own experience, no offense to you, you might want to go back to the 9-to-5. But if you did, you'd already be doing it. You wouldn't be finding this video. So it's telling me that you're like me, and you want to do something online because you're smart, and you know that people are making a great income out there online. And that's the way I was. I was like, these people are making good money out there. and they're working from home, and they're traveling, they're doing other things, but they're making money. And I was like, you know what? How are they doing that? So that's what I got online. I've been praying. I said, Jesus, I want to make money, and I want to make it on the internet. Because you got to be specific with Jesus, and he's going to show you how. So I was specific to the fact that I knew I wanted to make money online, because everybody was all these people are making good money out there. And I was like, why can't I make it? And then number two, I wanted to work from home, because I didn't want the commute anymore. I didn't want a 9 to 5. I didn't want someone telling me what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And when I could go to the restroom, or when I could take my lunch break, or, if I could have a day off to go visit my family member. So I was like, okay, I want it online. I want to make substantial money, and I want to work from home. I want to be my own boss and have my own business. So I got out there and I started doing those Google searches like we all do. I Googled, and I come across a training. I come across a woman like me. And she said, you're not going to believe this is what I'm doing. And I'm making this amount of money per month doing digital marketing online. When I saw it, she said, yeah, I felt like God answered my prayers when I found it. Well, when she said that, I said, well, I think God's answering my prayers too, because I found you. That night, I said, Jesus, I found a training. You saw me looking at it and everything, because he sees everything. I said, I want you to answer me a yes or a no. Is this the right training for me? And so I was specifically saying yes or no, Jesus. I need a yes or a no. And I left my house, I left it quiet. Like, I didn't turn on the TV or anything like that. Because if you're going to be in the moment, in the spiritual part, there needs to be quiet so he can talk. And next thing I know, pops into my head is cast your net. And I was like, cast your net. I was like, okay, Jesus. That's what I'm going to do. That's the training. So it didn't take me, that was it. And I know you're going, well, Jenifer, he didn't say yes or no. No, he didn't. He didn't say yes or no. And I know why he didn't. And I know why he said cast your net. Because he knew when he said cast your net, I knew it was him. If he said yes or no, that could be my consciousness saying yes or no. But when he said cast your net, I knew it was yes. Because just like Peter, he told Simon Peter, cast your net on the other side. Peter had faith and he knew it was Jesus. He cast his net and he caught all those fish. So I knew that was the answer to my prayers, that training. And that's what I invested in when I invested in myself. And you can do it too. If you found this video, he's answered your prayers. And I'm here to let you know that you will succeed. All you have to do is invest in yourself. Number one, invest in yourself. Believe that you're worthy. Number two, you have to be coachable. Okay? So you got to invest in yourself. I'm going to write it down. Invest in yourself. Okay? Number two, you got to be coachable. That means that you've got to listen to the experts that founded this training and everything, and that are teaching us how to make the money. So it's not just you invest in yourself and that's it. No, you're going to get a guide. You're going to get web pages. You're going to get automation systems. You're going to get all of this stuff. Modules. A community of people that are going to support you. So you're not going to be alone in the process. And the founder is going to talk to you and show you exactly how to do it, just like she's showing me. Her name is Michelle. And she's going to show you, and then I'm going to talk to you too. If you decide that this is what you want to do, I'm going to be there with you. My name is Jenifer. So you got to be coachable. You got to learn new skills. So you got to be ready to learn new skills. But you don't have to be tech savvy. You can be a beginner like me. I didn't know anything about social media, did never have any social media background, no Facebook, no nothing. If you've got a social media platform that you're using right now, if I told you you could make thousands of dollars a year using that social media platform, wouldn't you want to jump on it and do it? If you're smart, you would. And I know you're smart, or you wouldn't see this video. You wouldn't be looking. Okay? So you got to learn new skills. You got to make content, and that's like I'm doing. You got to make content and put it out there on the internet. But you're going to learn. It doesn't have to be YouTube. You don't even have to show your face. There's all different ways to make content, but this is one of them, okay? And then you have to be consistent, okay? You've got to be consistent. Man, you got to show up every day and do it, just like you would a 9-to-5 job, okay? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a scam. This is work. But what if I also told you that you only had to work 2 hours a day to get it done? 2 hours a day. 2 hours. That's another thing. I was like, man, all I have to do is 2 hours a day. That's wonderful. I can still feel retired, do this training step by step, and make that second income. And that's what I'm doing now. And that's why I want you to know that you can do it too. Essential income, it's time to get on the internet, sky's the limit platform. Okay? So if you want to know more and you're ready to make the money, then say blueprint in the comments. Blueprint, and I'll get you the free blueprint that shows you exactly what I'm doing.